Okay, so my model railway project 2.0 was a bit of a fail. So I decided to take it apart and take it to the dump and start all over again because I didn't really like the design. But now I've started work on the model railway project 3.0 and I am proud to show you the very first piece and also the biggest piece of the new project. And here she is! Now I know what you're thinking, oh Oliver, it's just a table, what's so special about it? Well, I have designed this myself, I built it myself, and I bought the wood myself. The only help I've had was getting this big sheet of wood to the flat. That's the only help I've had. No one's helped me plan this, no one has helped me build this, I have done this all by myself. And the best part is, it is solid as a rock. That is not going anywhere. But do you guys remember the very first model railway project I built in this flat? I built one that went round in a big loop, and these pieces right here are the very same wood pieces that I used for the very first model railway project. So it has got a bit of heritage. This new model, this new table. It's I'm so proud of how this has turned out, and this is only one out of 4 tables I'm building. But this is the first one, but it's the biggest one. I wanted to get the biggest piece done first because I just thought it'd be more easier doing the biggest pieces first and then working my way around the smaller pieces, and also workspace, there really isn't enough room for me to actually start building smaller tables, and then at the very end I've got the big one to do, so I thought it was very sensible to build the big one first. Now I've got to say it wasn't easy, because when I first put these 4 legs on, this thing was completely unstable. It was the most wobbliest table ever. It literally had no strength, and because it was so top heavy, there was nothing really supporting it, so the table was just going all over the place. So what I've done is I've added these beams under the table, which looks very nice, and I've added these wood panels at each end, so that bolts onto well, it's better to see it from here actually, so that bolts on to the actual base board itself, and it hooks on to this this little wood box thing. I'm calling these box wood sections, but believe me when I tell this thing is absolutely solid. This thing is not going anywhere. But yeah, it wasn't easy. I've been measuring, cutting, screwing, bolting, gluing, made a lot of mistakes, but finally the end result is amazing. It looks fantastic, and I'm just proud of how the fact I've done this all by myself, and it's really solid. This is not going anywhere. And also I've designed this in a very clever way, because what I've done was this. See these little screws here? That's not actually these screws aren't actually screwed to this, no. These screws are actually screwed in to this box section here, and I've added these guys here just to add a bit of strength. But this bit of wood is actually being held on by these big metal bolts and nuts. So I've actually designed this, so if this thing ever needed to be moved, all you have to do is just unscrew all the top bolts, and then this whole sheet of wood lifts up and comes off the legs. The legs stay where they are, but I've designed it, if this needed to be moved, that this whole baseboard here can come up and the legs stay where they are. I'm truly proud of how I've designed this and how I've put it all together. It is amazing. And here she is. Look how big it is. So I just want to point out that I designed this, built this all by myself, and also bought the wood by myself. Funny story with the wood actually, because I had to make 3 trips up to the Wicks shop, which sells all the wood, and I had to carry all the wood back by hand. In fact, I might have a picture to show you of how many. Well, I think I've got 2 pictures to show you of the times I actually had to go up to the wood shop to pick up the wood and carry it all the way back by hand. So we've got table 1, table 2, table 3, and table 4. But I had to redesign table 4 because the first design I did make a bit of an error of cutting this section out too much. In fact, I might have a picture for you actually where I actually had to, well, I had a bit of track hanging over the side and that would not do. So I had no choice but to take that bit of table apart and replace it with a new section, which is a lot bigger, but you know, it works. And also, in my opinion, I think it looks a lot more nicer. Now, as for the track, you're probably wondering why I've only got 1 section of track here at the moment. This is just a test track, just to see if it works. This isn't the finished design that I have for the actual railway itself. The first thing I wanted to do was get the table built, and I had, and it's here, and it's solid as a rock. It's not going anywhere. I'm really proud of how solid that is. And I like the fact I cut out a section of wood here on table 1. Gives me a lot more space to sort of like lean over so I can reach the other side, so that's good. So this cutout point was actually necessary so I could reach the other side. But and also I think it looks cool like that, I think, but I'll let you guys what you think. If you guys have your own opinion, leave your answer in the comment section down below. But it looks fantastic. I'm really proud of the finished work, sorry. I'm just lost for words of how amazing that I still can't believe I actually built this, designed it, put it all together and cut all the wood myself. That I'm genuinely pleased with how this has turned out. Much better, because in my head I thought, this looks pretty, in my head it looks pretty good. But when you see it in front of you, you're just like, wow, it's a lot more better than I pictured in my head. But this has taken a long time, up to 3 weeks of planning and 2 months of building it and buying the wood, of course, and cutting and measuring and stuff. But the finished result is pretty amazing. I mean, I just love the way it looks, how solid it is, and there's plenty of room like to walk around and stuff. I mean, I'm in barefoot right now because I'm walking on carpet, but I've got plenty of sit-down space. There's just so much room, and I've still got plenty of spare wood which I've stored away, so just in case I need to do some adjustments, which I don't think I will actually, because I think it looks absolutely perfect the way it is. But I have to say, this is without doubt the biggest model railway table, the biggest I have ever built. By myself, mind you. Sorry, I'm so pleased with myself with the finished result. It just looks so nice. I mean, like, someone like me, okay? I mean, I don't have much confidence in myself, but now I do. Now that I've built this was also a challenge for myself. I did this to challenge myself. Could it be done? And can I do it? And this proves that just because you're limited to your limitness, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Just because you're limited to the rest of the world doesn't stop you from doing something as cool as this. This model railway build project 3.0, this is a symbol of saying, just because you're different, and just because, like, you know, your mind doesn't work properly, I mean, someone like me, this is a symbol saying that it can be done. Nothing should stop you from doing something, or nothing should stop you from doing what you want. And I wanted to do this, and I've done it all myself, and that goes to prove that it can be done. Now, the first thing you can obviously see is that all the track has been very carefully ripped up. It's a very good job I didn't glue the track to the wood, or that would have caused some serious damage. No, I use these little pins, which I think they might be reusable. I'm not sure. I might not reuse them because, you know, these are used pins, and in fairness, I've got plenty of new pins. So yeah, I think these will just be thrown away, but I've kept them in a little pile. I mean, I've collected most of them. I mean, if we go over here, there's still loads of other pins that I need to, you know, pick up and put in a pile, but all of these, because I can't barely reach, but there you go. Ugh, dusty. And also at the moment, I'm sort of having a little play around on my next design, well, my proper design, because the first track layout that I did have was just a test track, basically, to see if the trains would run smoothly on this new table design that I built myself, which I'm very pleased about. But now that the test was a great success, it is now time to sort of redesign and build the actual real model railway project. Now, I do have a plan for this. So my plan is to have a 2-track main line like this, but then in the middle bit of the table is going to have like a nice big station where all the trains obviously either do some like yard work, because the yard is obviously going to be in the middle here, and probably have another line that'll go into this bit, which will go have another yard in the middle. And when these station tracks, as I'm calling them, come to about here, they're going to go back into a 2-track main line, and they're going to go around this way. But then this is the clever idea. I was thinking of maybe having an upper level, so it sort of goes up on a ramp as it's going around the corner, and it's still going up, and then it'll be on an upper level, so you can still have the nice yard here, but in the background there's going to be a loop track here. Well, not a loop track, but it's going to have like a nice corner here that's going slightly up in an angle, so then we'll have this nice level high bit, the upper level, I should say. So the station track is touching the wood, but then it'll go around, and then it'll go slightly up, it'll go around, and it'll have a nice upper level here, which will go all the way flush next against the wall and behind the station track, because I want to build a nice big station here. But then the 2-track upper level main line will be behind the big station. And then this is the clever bit. I was thinking, because this bit will be up high, it can cross over these set of tracks on a nice bridge. Ooh, I like that very much. I like that idea a lot. And for the yard, for the track station, is that there'll be a little siding which will go off in this direction under the bridge, as these tracks will cross over, which I like, and then the yard track will go whoop, and then loop you around, whoop, and then there'll be a big yard here where the upper track will go across here like this, and then come slightly this way towards this little area. Excuse for the mess, I do apologise. Oh, there are my glasses, I was wondering when they went. But no, the upper track, will come this way, and then it'll start going downhill, and then go a loop round, and then go back flush level on the actual table, hook up to these sets of tracks, and it'll go around, and you start it all over again. I mean, look at it, it's just chaos. It looks like that a bomb has gone off in this room. I've got like wooden blocks everywhere, sawdust everywhere. This room can definitely do a bit of a tidy up. But anyway, the progress. What have I done so far? Now, the first thing that's obvious is I've got this upper level bit of wood here, which looks very nice. It's a bit of a dirty job, this. That's why I've been giving myself dirty fingernails. I need to go wash my hands. But what I've done is I've cut out these little blocks to act like stilts, and then sit the wood on top of them and wait for the glue to dry, basically, and they act as the upper level that I'm going to have for the model railway. So the line will go along here, but then it'll go uphill, go around, and then it'll be sitting on this lovely platform here, and it will cross right over to this section. And just ignore this curve and those bits of points there. I was just experimenting and found out I haven't got enough room, so just ignore that. But what I'm going to be doing here, as you can see, I've got this like draw line thing that I've drawn on the wood. This is going to be the big station, so it's going to have a platform 1 here, platform 2, platform 3, platform 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with just the 4 platforms. But it's you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So the upper level will cross over the whole station, and then it'll come all the way up to this bit of the section of the table, and it'll start going downhill and then curving round and then going right up and connecting back up to these tracks. So technically, the bottom section of the track, the ground level, I should call it, is actually going to be going under the bridge twice. So when this crosses over, it'll be crossing this section of track, but then also, because it's going to be going all the way up here, it's also going to go over this section of track where it connects here, then loops round and goes uphill, goes over the track, and then connects to there. So the ground level track is actually going to be going under the bridge twice. I really like that idea. But it's just a mess. I've got tools everywhere. I've got wood and sawdust everywhere. But, like, you know, construction isn't the tidiest job in the world. And also, as you guys notice, I've got my Flying Scotsman nameplate out. I'm actually using this as a weight to sort of weigh it down, because at the moment this bit of wood is a little bit bent. So in order to straighten it, I've kind of left this on top, so sort of hopefully maybe it might flatten out the bits of wood. So in my head, I had this brilliant idea of having an upper level for this model railway project. So what I've gone for is these polystyrene inclines. I don't actually know what they're called, but I had to buy 4 of these, 2 on this table and 2 over there. So each set cost me about £30 to £40. And yes, you've guessed it, this is no cheap project. But I've hurt myself quite badly with this hand. I've stabbed myself like 1,000,000 times and cut myself a few times. I mean, you can see all these like horrible marks I've got on my knuckle and fingers and stuff, and I've got extremely dirty fingernails. Ugh. But, like, you know, that's what arts and craft does to your fingernails. It makes them extremely dirty. At the moment, I'm just waiting for this track to dry. I've put a little bit of PVA glue down just to give the cork a little bit more extra support. So I'm going to leave that to dry overnight. Now over here, as you guys might have seen my YouTube short where I was actually painting this station, what I've done, as you've noticed, I've got a bridge now cutting over across the entire station. I'm so pleased with how that's turned out. Now, obviously, I will be adding detail to the bridge, but obviously, this is just its skeleton phase before I can actually add some detail to it. But it looks amazing. I'm so pleased of how that bridge has turned out. For someone who's had no crafting skills, and particularly I'm not very good at arts and craft, I think I did all right with this. I mean, there are 1 or 2 rough edges, but nothing that I'm like deeply concerned about, or nothing to really complain about. And over here, I've bought myself a little station building and a little footbridge that it was red, but I decided to paint it in southern green, which looks very nice. So yeah, that's the station section, which again, I am really pleased with how the station's turned out. And in my YouTube short video, if you guys have seen it, you remember there was these horrible marks on the side of the brickwork. That's all fixed now. Oh, it does look good, doesn't it? It's a very smart looking station. Okay, I'm really pleased of how the station's turned out. I think it's been one of the biggest projects to make on this model railway. So that, yeah, the station was a big task, and then painting it was no picnic, but in the end, the results speak for itself. The station looks good, and I'm really pleased with how the bridge looks. That's come along really nicely. And also, I've got an idea to fill in these gaps. What I've done is I've bought some of these cardboard flat pack wall things. Now, I've only made 4 of these so far, and I've got about 20 to make. But what's going to happen with these guys is they're going to sit here against the wall, so they're nice and flush. And you've got these little pillars that you can just put up. Oh, hold on. Wait. Pop one there. Why are you not standing up, Mr. Pillar? I'll just pop it there, maybe. Maybe it's just sitting on a very wonky bit. But basically, that sits up against the wall bit that I'm planning to build. And it'll go all along there, and it'll go all along there. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this wall idea. Once it's all filled and you won't be able to see like the gaps and stuff, it will look so cool. And the way I've designed the points as well is amazing, because Annoyingly, I accidentally bought the wrong set of X point stuff, because if you look, this is only a single slip. So if you look carefully, there's a point bit there, but not on there, and it only goes in one direction. So so these are no good. So I had to go back to AC Models and buy some double slip points. So if you actually look carefully, if I flip the points, so you've got like another section here and another section there, you see. So these are the points that I needed in the first place. But for these points, they only go off in one direction, because look carefully, they don't have another point bit there, do they? No, because these are single slips and we needed the double slip. So we've got a double one there and a double one there. Now, it was an expensive mistake, because these points are about 50 to 60 quid each. So have wasted quite a lot of money, but like, you know, it's not a massive mistake, but like, you know, it's good that we spotted it now rather than like, you know, spotting it when the whole model railway's finished. So it's good that we spotted it now. It just cost me a little bit, but that's no big deal. At least we've solved it now, and that look, and you know, it looks good. I mean, from this angle, I mean, look at that. Ooh, it does look like a real railway, doesn't it? Just obviously without the scenery and the ballast and stuff, but that's for later on. Now, over on this section, a lot more progress has happened here. It looks, it's just exactly the same as that table, except over here, what I've done is I've covered it with paper, with newspaper and PVA glue and water, so that's in the middle of still drying. Now, this isn't necessarily to give it strength. This is just necessary to fill in the little cracks and gaps, or when I do put the ballast on, they won't fall down the cracks, so they won't just go. I can't remember what I did in my last update. I think I had these walls up. I'm not sure. I might have to go back into last month's video and then sort of have a little look and see what I've done. But if I haven't shown you this wall yet, this is what I've been doing. It looks amazing. I'm really proud of how the wall actually looks. It's starting to look like more like a proper railway now. It just looks amazing with the wall there. If I like move the camera down slightly, there we go, that's a bit better. So yes, I'm deeply impressed of how that wall was turned out. Took me about 3 days to make, because these cardboard bits, hold on, I can actually pick one out from here, because the rest is fully glued down, this one isn't, and there's a reason for that. If you actually look at the table of where it all splits in half, this is where the upper level disconnects, and this is where the main table disconnects. So this is always going to stay loose, so in order for me to actually separate the tables if I need to take it apart, let's hope it won't come to that. But yeah, it's secured, it's very nice in there. So if I just very gently put that back in, there we go. You'll never know that bit comes off, do you? No, it looks very nice. So yeah, and also, again, with the ballast, I've been doing some more testing around the station area. I've weathered it, give it a little bit of like that dirty look feel, and it looks amazing. But yeah, I'm really pleased of how this lighter ballast stuff looks. I mean, it just looks a lot more better. It gives it a nicer finish. Oh yeah, it just looks amazing. Now, I haven't done much, obviously. Well, actually, I have done much, but because, like, you know, this is a big station and a big yard area as well, or a junction, I should call it, maybe. Doing all this, obviously, did take a few days to do, because I only did, like, a little bit, glued it, wait for it to dry. Then the next day, I did a little bit, glued it, wait for it to dry, then so on and so on and so on, and etc. So yeah, this has taken me, the ballast, I think it's taken me about a week and a half to do this bit. Very time consuming, I know, but I don't want to do it in one solid go. I want to do it in little stages, because if you look, I've got switch points everywhere, and I don't want all this powdery ballast stuff to get into the points, always they won't work. And then that's 50 quid's worth of X points ruined, so I've got to be very careful there. But I think I've done a good job. And also, I've got to be honest, I have had a lot of help. I've done so much all by myself, but I have had one little help. That is the wiring. Can you actually see there's two wires connected there, wires connected there. I think I've got another wires connected. Yep, there's one over there, and I think there's one down here. And if we actually go under the table, you might not be able to see this because it's quite dark, but we have actually got power now. I want to give a shout out to Kyle, my friend Kyle, for actually helping me, for doing the wiring for me. He's a genius, he knows what to do. So yeah, so I've only had help with the wiring because Kyle knows what he's doing, he knows how electronic stuff works, and if I tried to wire it, I could actually maybe blow up something, or put positive to positive, or negative to positive, or something, or what have you. I don't know wiring, okay? I know I'm building a model railway that requires electricity, but I don't know wiring. I know it's crazy. So a big thank you to Kyle for wiring it all up, so the whole railway has power now. Yeah. But at the moment, I can't actually run anything because the tracks are in such poor condition. I need to give it a scrape, and then a wipe in order for me to actually, before I can actually run any trains. I mean, I know I've got the Flying Scotsman up there, but that's just a test loco. And it's not doing very well, actually, because of how dirty the track is. So, I've got to go all over the railway to clean it, and then we can start running stuff. Yeah. Now, going over the bridge, no difference there. It looks amazing. All I've done was paint it, give it a little bit of extra detail. And over here, as you can see, I have had to actually replace one of the bends because I had a loco going over that bend and it kept derailing. But it doesn't matter. I fixed it. I've solved it, and it's all working now, so that's good. Now, this is the big push that I've been doing. I've been doing this. Now, this is going to be where there's going to be like lots of grass and fields and stuff on this incredible hill. Now, what I've done is I've got a lot of newspaper, covered it in PVA glue and water, scrunched it up and just boshed it on the table, and then cover it over with this nice plaster bandage stuff. However, we have had a bit of a problem, because this is quite a large area. It did require a lot of plaster bandages stuff. And unfortunately, I've run out. Can you believe it? I've run out of plaster. So I've ordered some more. Got to text my dad. They've just arrived at his, so I can go over to his house and pick it up at a later date. But yeah, progress unfortunately has been a bit slow, due to lack of equipment and waiting stuff to be delivered, and less ideal spare parts. So it has taken some time, because what I need to do is I need to finish off this bit with a bit more plaster, because you can see how rough it is. And then over here, and then over there, and then I want to go over this bit again with more plaster. Just, I mean, this is just the first layer, and I want to give it a second layer because it is a bit, it is a bit loose, like here, for example, or like here. So it hasn't actually, fully secured yet. I mean, there's some areas that are pretty solid, like, where is it? No, that's pretty loose. This is really solid here. I'm really pleased about how that's turned out. But once it's all fully plastered, and I've got to do, the other side as well. So, that covers up all the little gaps and stuff. So once all of that's plastered, I think the next stage will be ready to paint it in brown. And then over here, I've got some fake grass. So I've got a really nice dark stuff, which is pretty cool. And then I've got some really bright stuff, which looks even better. Ooh. And then what I've got is I've got a sort of mixture of both. So you've got a bit of light and a bit of dark. So it's, it's a bit bush-like, which is pretty cool. Now, I actually need your guys' help with something. Do I just sprinkle all of this together? So a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. So it sort of all mixes in and blends. Or should I do second option, which is have a bit of this grass here, but have a square shaped sort of field bit, and then fence it off, and then start with a new colour. So fence there, green side here, and on the other side of the fence, you've got a darker stuff, and then do another section over here, then fence that off, and then on the other side of the fence, we go for a different colour. Shall we do that? Or shall we just go with first option and just mix all the colours together and just sprinkle it all on? So it's just all one solid colour. Or shall we go with option 2, where we can fence stuff off so it looks like different kind of properties on one hill? I quite like that second idea. I mean, it requires a lot more work, but I think it might look good in the long run. Or shall I just go with option 1 and just do it all in one go and just go all over the place? Or should we go with option 2, where it's going to give us a bit more realism and a bit more detail? I'll leave you guys to decide in the comment section down below. But yeah, I do need some second opinions here. Now, last month, I did ask you guys, shall I do the heel as like one solid colour? Or shall I do it in sections and have it as like different coloured fields? So it looks like different properties and different fields and stuff. So I went with that option, and I'm really glad I did because it looks amazing. So we've got like this light green colour stuff, and then we've got this like darker colour stuff, which I really like. So I actually used this colour twice on this bit here. Then we've gone with a nice sort of like fieldy crop section here, which well, not crop, but like, you know, like a wheat. That's more like a wheat colour. Then over here I've got like a nice dirty muddy colour, which, you know, it's actually just ballast, but I've kind of used that as mud because it gives that nice sort of like thick mud dirt feel to it. So that's what I've done. And here I've got like loads of different like bushes and stuff. So I've got different sort of grasses on this loopy section. And I've also done the ballast work. At last we got some good ballast. It looks a lot better close up, I think. Although I'm still like in the middle of doing the ballast, because once all the ballast is done, I'm actually going to paint it. So in the middle, it's going to have like a little bit of like a dirt colour. Well, not dirt, but like a bit of like oily spill colour in the middle of the tracks. That's my plan anyway. And with the dirt muddy ballast stuff, I've actually put some alongside here just to give it a little bit more realism, so you can actually see the separation between the ballast and the dirt and the grass, which, like, you know, it actually has turned out really well. I mean, I was a bit nervous because I'm still sort of experimenting of how this is going to look, but I think it looks amazing, especially like with this grass here, this dark green stuff. And I'm going to add some bushes and stuff, but that's going to be later on in the detailing bit, because I'm still in the middle of doing the ballast, because we've got ballast to do around the station. And as you can see, we've done the ballast over the bridge now. So the ballast starts from here, and it goes all the way around the loop and then over the bridge. And that, unfortunately, is where it stops at the moment. Done more ballast work around, like, you know, the station bit, just to, you know, tidy it up a bit. Done some ballast work here around the points. Ooh, looks very nice. So that's basically what I've been doing for the past whole month, was basically doing ballast work, because also I had to buy more ballast because unfortunately I did run out. So I had to buy some more. That's the wrong tub. It's actually these guys. So yeah, I had to buy this stuff and then mix it together in one, because if you look, we've got like different like colours. We've got like a light stone and sort of like a darker stone colour, which I mixed in the ballast, which, you know, it looks pretty nice. But I haven't really done any more. Like this is what I've been mainly focusing on, is this section here on the model railway project, which, like, you know, in my opinion, it looks amazing. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to get some of this fence stuff. In fact, I've already got one that's off as an example. Here it is. And the good stuff about this is you can actually bend it into what shape of the fence you kind of want. So that's really clever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fence it all off. So you're going to have like a fence going along this way, that way, and then that way, and then that way, and then that way, and that way, and that way. So, you know, we are going to have fencing. So, so if I just like pop it down as an example, not really going to stay up, but yeah. So if we pop a fence down like that, it will seal off different colours of the fields. So that is going to look really nice. Like if we did it here, for example. So we'll put a fence there. So go along there, along up to the tracks, and then down here, which is going to look amazing. Once I've had the fencing down, it will look so much better. Because at the moment, I'm still sort of like seeing if I like this or not. I mean, I really like how this has turned out. But, like, you know, a lot of people may have better ideas or have better advice of how I should do this. But I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. I've got to do some more grass and ballast work along the edges here and there. But also I've got to ballast all the way along here around the station. And then once all the ballasting and the detailing bits around this area is done, we can actually start working on building the actual bridge and giving the bridge proper detail. Because what I would like to do is I want to actually have more of this stuff on the bridge. But then I realised it wouldn't really make it look like a bridge. It would make it more like a wall sort of thing. So I have two options. I could either get this stuff. Well, actually, I have three options, actually. I could get this and put alongside there, so it looked like a brick bridge. Or option two is get some of these guys and then put them on like that, so it gives it a bit of a bridge sort of look to it. Or do both, where I put a brick thing there and then this on top of the brickwork, so it kind of looks like, hold on, not very good with that. So it kind of looks like that. So if I pop this on that, so you've got like a bit of brick and a bit of, you know, these like, you know, steel beam looking things. It's actually plastic, but like, you know, I think they're representing a steel beam. So I could have it look like this and then stick it on the side like that. So you've got a bit of brick and a bit of steel beams, which I think, you know, I quite like that option of going, of having two at the same time. Or should I just have one or the other? It's up to you guys. I mean, please let me know in the comment section down below. I mean, I do like the idea of having both the brick and the metal beams on the side of the bridge, but like, you know, I don't know how that's going to work yet. But I'm still sort of experimenting, like little trial and error on these things, mostly error, but like, you know, it's coming along nicely. So the ballast looks great. It just amplifies the noise and the vibrations that is just horrible. But I have done something really cool. I've added some more of the wall structure on the bridge, because I did thought having just one big bridge would be a cool idea, but then I just thought actually it looks a bit silly having a bridge that big and that long. So what I did is I bought some more of these nice wall stuff, and they're cardboard cutouts, hence why that's all over the place, because I've been doing some more card work. Bought some more card glue. Yes, this stuff is good. Because like, you know, these come in flat pack and you have to sort of like bend them and, you know, put them together. So these things are actually really cool. So I bought more of these guys and I've put it over here, because then it will look like it's a twin bridge. Oh, my camera just fell. Sorry, I've got a very dodgy selfie stick that I think I might need to buy a new one because it keeps falling off. But yeah, we've got a bridge here, which looks very nice. I'll move it a little bit closer. So I've added some more brickwork here, sort of combined with the wall, and which I think is a really good idea. Hence, but you know, I'm not finished yet. I've got another idea for the wall bit, because I'm thinking of adding some like metal things, well not metal, but like some metal bars here to sort of give it look more like a bridge sort of look. Added some more brickwork here, which I'm really pleased about, because it goes all the way across here and onto this wall here. So it kind of looks like that this wall and this wall and the two bridges are basically ones. It makes it look like one solid piece. But I've also left a gap, because obviously this is where the table here separates. That gap does look pretty awful, doesn't it? But I need to have a gap because that's how the table splits apart. Hence why this bit is loose. So I'm not going to glue this bit down, but it just, you know, slots in very nice in there. Kind of like the same design with this one, where the table separates. We just, you know, remove this one. So this is never going to be glued down. But like, you know, you'll never know, would you, that bit comes off. If I just like put it back in its right place, just straighten up a bit. There we go. Yeah, it's the same with this one. You would never know that these were loose, would you? They look like one solid piece. So like, you know, no one's ever gonna know that. Now, as you noticed, we've got some more bits of detail green on this end, which I'm really pleased with how this is looking so far. I want to add a bit more detail to the side, but like, you know, it's coming along nicely. I mean, yes, there are like bits missing. I want to add some more like, you know, darker green maybe, and maybe some like flowers and stuff. And then eventually, once all the detailing is done, I can start adding some fencing along here. Oh, that looks so nice once we get some fencing done. So I'm really pleased of how the bushes and all the, like, you know, different shades of green, like a different patch of dark green here, you know, and I've added like longer grass, and it just looks so nice. Now I haven't done any on this bit, obviously, as you can see. So this is what it sort of used to look like when it was just plain, and then like from here, this is where I've added like some form of detail. Oh, but it looks so good. The tracks need a bit of a clean, but so far I am really pleased with how this corner is looking. So like, you know, if I can do that around the whole railway, that will look so smart. And I've also finished off the ballast. I finally done all the ballast. That took a long time. Really pleased of how I've done this, because believe it or not, I actually had to sit on this part of the table, and amazingly this table took my full weight, amazingly. So I've done more of the ballast. Well, the ballast is now all done on the main line, so that's really good. Nothing has been done on the loop track yet. I still need some assistance from a dear good friend of mine, but we need to you know, install the auto reverser. I've had it here somewhere, but now I've lost it. Well, that's really worrying, because I actually need that auto reverser, because one, it's a very important piece, and also it was very expensive. Oh, here it is. I found it. This is the auto reverser. I think I might have explained this in last month's video. Need to sort of get my friend Kyle to sort of solder it this under the table, link it to the tracks, link it to the power part of the rails, ving, 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 wire it all up, and then this will have power, and then this will be an operating loop track, which, oh, that's going to be so cool once I've done that. But I've bought myself one of these. I think I might have explained this before, but this is going to go... I'm going to move these guys out of the way. This isn't my greatest video work, but there you go. It is what it is. So that's going to go there, and then we'll have like a siding there, and we'll have another line going into the yard, into the shed. That is the plan, and I quite like that plan. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But it's nice that we've got like some green lit on this bit and on that corner as well, because it, like, you know, it looked unfinished. So I'm so glad that we finally got these two corners with some colour now. So that's really good. And I'm thinking, you know, because this is going up a hill, I'm gonna add some more like bush stuff around the edges, just to sort of like make it a bit more complete, and also it'll make it look a bit more realistic as well. I might buy some more wall section just to sort of make this longer. However, it does start going downhill from this section and then goes downhill, so I might buy like maybe one more set of walls just to make it nice, and well, just to make the wall look longer and stuff. And also because I've been doing the ballast way, I've got like these horrible glue marks that have been dripping down, and I don't like to see that, so I want to sort of try and cover that up. But what I've mainly been doing, which I'm really pleased about, is the bridge. The double bridge. I'm so happy to say that the double bridge is near enough finished. Like, construction-wise, it is done. But now what I want to do is start adding the detailing. Like, you know, some more of these lovely bushes. I've added some more of these, like, you know, overgrown bushes, which, like, you know, looks very nice. I mean, as you can see, like, you know, it's still drying. It's not actually finished yet. Well, not finished drying. And I have had a go at sort of the painting the side wall bits, which, not side walls, the railing things, the metal beam things, whatever you call it. There is a word for that, but I don't actually know what it's called. But I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, I've started adding some like test painting, like, you know, add a bit of like orangey rust color and like a more darker grey, just sort of blend in like the rust and the actual metal colors together. I mean, it looks very nice. However, I'm still experimenting of what colour to paint the bridge itself. Shall I paint it red or green, or shall I just leave it as a nice rusty colour? I'll let you guys decide. Because obviously, like over here, I haven't done any painting on this side yet. All I've done is this side. Still needs to add a bit more detail because I haven't really got around to doing it yet. But like, you know, I do want you guys' feedback of what you think of the rust colour. I mean, I quite like it, but I'm glad I've got both sides of this wall here done. You know, that looks so nice. And I am going to add some, like, you know, these bush stuff, like, sort of like, maybe like around here, to sort of like hide all these like rough edges, and maybe like some along like on here on this side, maybe, I don't know. But like, you know, again, this part of the bridge, oh, it looks so fantastic. Like, you know, the fact that, like, you know, I've never done bridge work before. Well, not proper bridge work, but, like, you know, I'm really pleased with how that looks and how that's turned out. I mean, when I have an idea in my head, I look at it and I think, that's a really good idea. But then when you see it in front of you physically and you think, oh my God, I built that. Like, you just got this, like, massive, like, accomplishment like feeling like I did this and it looks amazing. I'm genuinely proud of how that looks. Now, this isn't the neatest bridge you'll ever see. Like if you actually sort of like look above it, you can actually see how wonky it is. Like this bit, for example, how it sort of like bends around and then it comes in and it goes out again. It's not straight, this bridge. The fact that I only made this out of like bits of wood and just I didn't do any proper measuring with it, so that's why the bridge does look a little bit wonky, because like from here it goes from very wide, then it goes in, and then it goes wide again, and then in again, and then wide. And it's not the neatest job, but when you look at it from over here, I don't think you can really notice. But again, it's not the straightest bridge, it's not the biggest bridge, it's not the most well-built bridge, but I built it and I'm really pleased about it. And like from this angle, when you can see like, you know, the twin bridge, you've got like a little bridge there, and then you've got like another bridge here. So in this section of the project, this is the depot section where you can store your locomotives, or, you know, just leave something in the siding, or if you wanted to spin your engine around on a turntable, you can do it. Now what I'm about to say is actually quite important, because now that we've actually finished with the depot bit, with the track, I don't actually need any more track. All the track laying is finally finished, so really pleased about that. I never thought I'd actually get the track laying done, but we did. Now the amount of detail I've put into this is phenomenal. Now it's not perfect, and it doesn't look as realistic as I thought it would, but like, you know, I'm just building this from like, you know, my own memory, from my own head. It's not supposed to be a replica of any other railway. It's just something I had in my mind, and I've put it onto a model railway, and like, you know, basically this is what I had in mind, and just went for it. And it does look pretty good. Now over in the shed section, that's quite hard to pronounce, isn't it? But no, seriously, over in the shed section, I've actually got some card and cut them out and put them into the tracks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over the card once the glue's set, to kind of make it look like a concrete sort of work yard area for where locomotives go to get either repaired, repainted, or just need a bit of an overhaul with that, you know, just that sort of thing. Now I was actually thinking of buying a bigger and better shed for the work yard area, but then I just realised it would just be a massive money pit, basically. Like, you know, I've already spent 50 quid on one shed, so instead I just bought exactly the same shed as I did before, slapped it in, and, you know, it actually looks pretty nice, because there's no point buying a whole new different shed. If I've already bought one shed, why not just buy the one exactly the same as I bought before, rather than just a whole new one? So that's what I did, and I'll tell you what, I'm actually pleased about that, because one, it was cheaper, and also I think it looks pretty good, and also for the third important reason, it wouldn't have actually fit, because, you know, it's actually quite tight in the depot section. Giggly. Next was the ballast choice. Now I went with a very dark black, like a sort of sooty, dirty coal colour, which kind of makes it look more like a works, where everything looks busy, and like, you know, I just thought it looked better if we just had different coloured ballast, so it's not all the same. So, you know, it just gives it a little bit more realism if it was a different colour. I'm really pleased about it, because it actually turned out very well. And on the other side of the tracks, I actually added real coal on the side. I got a bit of lump of coal, crushed it all up, and glued it on the side of the tracks to give it a bit more realism. And it looks pretty good, I think. I mean, it's not perfect, but like, you know, I think it turned out very well. And the next thing I'm really proud about is my little water tower. The weathering I've done on it, like, again, it's not perfect, but I think it looks so much better after I've painted it. Oh, it just looks so good. Because, like, you know, I wanted to have a water tower just to give it a bit more detail, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. And also, what I'm really pleased about is that when I bought this, it had this like plastic rod thing that's set on the side, and I didn't like that very much. Didn't look realistic enough. So what I did is I snipped that off and replaced it with a real chain. Give it a little bit of weathering, and the result speaks for itself. It just looks fantastic. And the final thing, as you guys have noticed, yes, we do have a working turntable now. Because if you go back to a few of my videos, you guys will remember that I actually did try and fit the first turntable in, but unfortunately I broke it because, you know, I'm stupid. The little bearing thing that sits in the middle of the turntable of what links the bridge and the turntable together unfortunately snapped off. So I had to buy a whole new turntable, fit it in, and, like, you know, it was a massive money pit at first, but, like, you know, now that I've got a working turntable, I wouldn't say it's worth buying a second turntable, but I just really wanted something to turn my engine around, because I did try and do the loop track idea, but unfortunately, because electricity is very weird, and I don't know how electricity really works. I know you've got positive and negative, but like, you know, I still don't know how it works. I'm no electrician. But anyway, we couldn't do the loop track originally because it was just too complicated. We did try, but it just wouldn't work. So we went back to my original idea, which was a turntable. But the reason why I didn't go with a turntable, because I knew it'd be expensive. And oh boy was it, because I didn't just buy one turntable. No, I bought two because I broke the first one. So the turntable was way over expensive, and I just didn't like spending that kind of money. But I'm just glad that we actually have a working turntable, Oliver. Working turntable. I nearly did that in one shot, but no. Oh, I just can't speak properly. And the best thing is, it isn't just a turntable that you just like, you know, push with your finger to spin your engines around. No, it actually has a motor in it. So actually with a push of a button, it actually has a motor that spins the turntable, so you don't have to push it yourself, which is actually pretty cool. But also, on the other side of the mainline tracks, I've added this nice little siding, and I've sort of made it all sort of overgrown. So it's not like an abandoned siding, it's just kind of like a disused siding that's just been left there to be all overgrown. But you know, I thought it was a good idea. So we've got like a siding on this side and a yard area on the other side of the main line. Because, you know, I want this to be a very busy railway, so that's why I've added another siding here and have it all overgrown. Because I don't want to look exactly the same as the one in the yard. I kind of wanted something that was a bit more overgrown. Again, just something a bit different, and like, you know, just adds a little bit more detail and stuff like that. So I think it looks very nice like this. So let's start over in the yard. What have we done? Well, I've got these little fuel tank things. I still need to paint them. I think they're like 3D printed or something or other. But, like, you know, I quite like them. I like the amount of detail these things have. So I'm going to probably paint them very soon, just not today. And a few spare wheels lying around. I thought, ooh, because this is a yard, we do need some wheels. So just pop them there for, you know, just to keep the yard look busy. And I don't know if I've shown you this in the last video, but I've added this brick texture work around the turntable. Oh, it looks very nice. But if I've already shown you this, then I'm an idiot. But I'm showing you guys now anyway, so just in case. But if I haven't shown you, I'm genuinely pleased with how this looks. It looks more like a proper turntable now with all this brickwork and stuff. I just love the brickwork. It's not perfect. I mean, there's a rough edge here. I think there's another rough edge like somewhere. I can't remember where it was. But it's a turntable. It's got brick texture. Ooh, and I love it. Added a bit of rust on this line because I wanted to have like a siding that's sort of like not abandoned but just like sort of disused. Also, I have made a bit of an error. When the turntable spins, there's a dead point because when you spin the turntable around, it will switch from positive to negative because obviously there's a dead bit where it switches from positive to negative and negative to positive, obviously. Have a quick guess where the dead bit is. Yeah, when the turntable is pointing in this angle, that's where the dead bit is. So I actually made this siding and I can't actually use it because there's no power going to the turntable because that's where the dead zone is. So I've made a very pointless siding. But I'm just gonna put like, you know, just bits of junk and spare things on it anyway, just for extra added detail. You don't actually have to use this siding. So I put it a very old Bullied Pacific rusty wheel there because I thought that might look fun. It does look good there though. But this siding has got power. If the turntable is in this angle, then you will be able to drive on and off in this siding. But when it gets to this angle, it's a dead zone, so you can't actually drive on and off this siding, which is quite annoying. But it's actually quite funny that, like, you know, I discovered it after I've done the detailing because I was like, how come I'm not getting power? And I realised the turntable was getting a dead zone. Oh, Oliver, you're so silly. But I have done something as well, which is very time consuming, but I'm generally proud of the results. I've added a fence. Look at this. I've added a fence on the railway. I've only done it on this side though. I wanted to add another fence here, but guess what? I ran out of fences. Got to go to AC Models and buy some more fences. But it looks so good. It goes all the way around here. And a little bit more bushwork here. It's all solid as a rock. It's all dry now. Excellent. And it goes all the way up here. Now, obviously, there's a part in table 4 and 3 that separates, which I believe is actually here somewhere. Maybe. I'm not so sure. I think it's about... Actually, I think it's about here, actually. I think this is where the cut-off point is. But the fence looks amazing. It's not perfect. It goes all the way around there. It looks a bit empty there. I mean, you can't really see much down there. So it's very pointless doing some detailing work down there. Might maybe add a tree or two. Added more bushes on the side of the wall here. Oh, that looks fantastic. Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. Obviously, I haven't done much next to the shed because you can't really see down there. But I will add some detail there, and I'm not entirely sure what, but you know, it's still a work in progress. Like, you know, there's bound to be a few edges that are not done yet. The main structure of it, as I said before, is completely finished. Like, this is the result, and in the nick of time too, because next month will be November, and I started building this back in November last year. So this railway will be a year old next month. And, you know, what I'm going to be doing for next month's video is I'm going to do a complete montage of going all the way back from last year to today. So this will probably be the last proper update video for a while, because because now you can basically see what the railway looks like now. Like, you know, because the detail bits, like, you know, it won't make a massive change in the railway, but, like, you know, it will still give it a bit more realism. But the actual structure of it is done. And here we are now, back in the present. And it's amazing. It's like, you know, going back all those months ago to when I first started, it was just an ordinary bit of table, which, well, it wasn't even a table. It was just a bit of wood on some legs. So it wasn't even a table. To what it is now. It's incredible. I think the hardest thing, though, I have to be honest, was probably the bridge. This was probably, without doubt, the hardest thing I had to make, because even, like, looking at it, it's not actually straight, but I like it because it's wonky. It's my very first bridge, and I like it. I'll probably do another model railway bridge in the future, but this was definitely the hardest thing to make, and it looks phenomenal. But yeah, it is amazing how far this project has come. And it's amazing that I actually managed to get all this done in just a year. But I just want to say a big thank you to you guys for actually supporting me all those months on this project. Because, like, you know, all the super chats and all the donations you guys do on the live streams and all the videos you watch help support the Model Railway project. So it's all thanks to you guys for actually helping me build this. This was a project not just for me, but it was also a challenge, and also it was a project for you guys, because you guys wanted to see me actually build this railway. You guys wanted to see me get it done, and it's here. We've done it. I think we've done a really good job. So thank you to you guys for supporting the channel and supporting the Model Railway Build Project 3.0. This has been a super big project, and we managed to get it done. So thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Follow me on my Twitter and Instagram and Twitch. All the links are in the description. And also, if you want to buy some LaZeR merch, link to my merch website is in the description below. Make yourself feel comfortable. We've got plenty of merch for you to enjoy. Because, like, you know, it's November. Christmas is only 1 month away. So if you guys want some Christmas gift ideas, head over to the website. You know, it's just a click. But thank you again so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next model loco review, because now that we've got this done, I do have quite a few models that I need to start doing some reviews on, and believe me, you don't want to miss it because they are really good models. Anyway, take care everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one, I hope. Bye for now.